Hi, my name is Dawn and I'm Managing Director of D52 Business Toolkit. Today I want to talk about having a vision for growth and the importance of having a vision. One of the things that we can all be assured of in our businesses is change, and we can never tell where that change is going to be, and none so timely as this current climate with the coronavirus, that change wasn't foreseen and suddenly we're all having to work differently. So I've run very often courses on having a vision for growth because people are looking to grow their businesses, and none is more essential than now. Because if we don't plot our vision for growth and we don't look at where our business is going and the opportunities, then we have, unfortunately, the downside of that is that we've not really planned for fluctuations in anything, including trends and geographic clientele, etc. One of the things that I was talking about with a client today who has to run a business which is very much hands-on is, okay, so how are we going to elevate this now, and how are you going to meet your customer demand in a new and different way? And we looked at different ways of attracting clients, and by doing that we realized that what was originally a very small pot of clients, because of the fact that there was a commute level to it, they're now working online. We can now expand that geographic demographic into a much larger pool. And actually then their question was, well, moving forward, how am I going to maintain this? Because once we go back to open doors, then it'll have to be back to our geographic area. And I came up and said, well, why? And when we grappled with it, we said, well, do you know what? We can run the old model alongside the new model. And I'm really pleased to say that they're very profitable and they're growing their business, and many businesses are. And one of the downsides of not planning for growth and not stopping and looking at your business is that you're not planning for anything. And then you're waiting and waiting for change. And you need to be the change you want to see. That's one of the things I say all the time to my clients. So having a vision for growth is important because it gives you a way of actually pinpointing what your desired outcomes are going to be, what financial outcomes you want for your business, and then aligning that with, okay, so what staff do you need to have in place? And if it's only you, how are you going to upskill, or do you bring other people in? And then it's about looking at, okay, what are the implications of this changing model? How are you going to take that business forward and focus predominantly on the bottom line, because it is all about profitability. It isn't about our ego and what our turnover is. It's actually about that profitable level in our business and how we can make our businesses viable even in this what seems to be an economic downturn, although for so many businesses is actually a time for capturing the magic, if you want to use that term. So one of the things that I'm concerned about is that we grasp those opportunities and that we take the businesses forward in a way that means that we can kind of, like, the government's talking about flattening the curve, or we're wanting to go the other way with our businesses and actually ride the wave and take our businesses into a new level. And by setting financial goals and aligning those financial goals with the structure in our businesses, we can develop a robust strategy. And I hear all the time about people feeling like there's so much chaos out there. Well, let's create a bit of calm amongst the chaos. Let's try and make some sense in all this mayhem, and let's try and get your business online, if not just online in the web format, but actually online in terms of you're following a trajectory that you want to increase after all this has finished. So let's get some clarity. Let's work out how we're going to communicate with our customers. Let's look at how to be proactive in what could be seen as a very difficult time, and let's build on that. If you can work with me over 5 weeks on grasping your vision, plotting that out, making sure that it's in alignment with where you want to be, it will serve you well moving forward. And I just want to give you a little example of somebody that I helped with this, and we developed a 3-year plan. and their 3-year plan came very early. But what it didn't do is throw them into a kind of a frenzy, which can happen if you see exponential growth that you weren't expecting, because we knew what the 3-year plan looked like. We knew what the premises looked like. We knew how many staff she needed. We knew what processes needed to be in place, what equipment was required if she got to that stage. And she got to it far sooner than she ever anticipated. So we were able to say, do you know what? We know what 3 years looks like. So let's just implement that plan. And she was able to just hit the ground running with conversion of a building and getting more stuff in and getting a loan from the bank to buy a piece of equipment to make packaging more efficient. So by plotting it out, if it comes earlier and then you're prepared for it. And for many of my businesses, they're finding different ways of working now. But what will happen when doors are open, shall we say, in the real world, when you're actually physically meeting with people, is as if that's still growing and then this is plateaued, then what we're looking at, then if that grows, suddenly we've got both growing at a higher rate, there will be exceptional growth. So let's not just look at our business in one dimension, but let's look at ways of capitalizing on what's going on now in terms of how can we work differently, and then using that as an extra trajectory for our business in line with what we'd already thought we were going to be doing. And by building relationships, which is what I left a video on the other week, by building relationships with people now, growing our businesses, we'll be in a much better place. It's interesting that the people that I am seeing are people that are not getting grants, and they're so desperate for their businesses to work because they have to make it work. But at the core of every business owner should be that passion to make their businesses work and to not rely on government grants. And if the government is handing stuff out to you, brilliant. Don't sit on your laurels. See that as an extra to keep you going. And if you are not receiving any government grants, don't see that as a negative. Make it inspire you to take your business to the next level. So if you want to talk more about what having a vision for growth is, then get in touch with me. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Look at my Facebook videos, but I will be sending out an email about the masterclasses that are coming, which is on this whole subject. And if you'd like to be registered, then just get in touch by sending me your email address, and I will get you registered for the information about the masterclasses, which is about actually putting this into practice. Thank you very much.